Hi, friends. So, this week, I kind of want to do something Christmassy, but I also don't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. So, I'm going to challenge myself to a bunch of DIYs without going out and buying a single thing. Let's see what we can do. First, let's try to make some little decor. And I think I'm going to start with this circle punched paper Christmas tree. I got this idea from this Creations by Kara website. If you want to see the original, I will link it down below, as I will with all of these, but I'm going to alter most of them a bit. So the first supply that's required for this is a cone. A few of these ideas actually require a cone, and a lot of them say that you can buy a paper mache cone at a craft store or a foam one, but I don't have one of those, so I'm going to make a cone. I'm starting with a large piece of cardstock. This one is 12 by 12 inches. And we need a large circle, so I'm going to trace around a paper plate, and then I'll cut it out. Now, you could use the whole circle depending on how tall or short you want the cone to be. I want a pretty small but steep cone, so I just cut the circle in half. Then I'm going to overlap the ends to get it to the desired size, and glue it and then clip it to dry. Next, we're going to need some pattern paper for the actual decoration. For this, I'm going to use this pattern cardstock that I already have on hand. I'm just going to choose a few red and green pages, for Christmas. And I think I'm going to do one full page of each pattern. Now we need to cut out a bunch of circles. You could draw and cut all of them out with scissors, but I actually have paper punchers because I'm a craft hoarder. I have a 1.5 inch and a 1 inch punch. I'm going to try 2 different trees to see which size looks better. So I just set to punching out a bunch of circles in each size. I'm not sure how many I need. I think I just did about 20 or so of each color. And then I have some paper left over in case I need some more. Now we're going to take our cone and our circles and a glue gun, although you could just use regular glue, and I'm just going to glue the circles on. Now, I've seen in some instructions where it uses brads and you nail them into the cone, but again, I don't have those, and hot glue is the fastest. As I'm putting these on, I'm kind of overlapping the circles about halfway and going all the way around. Then I'm moving up to the next row. The placement on this is kind of personal preference. Once I got to the top, I just wrapped the circles into a sort of pointed shape. It does look a little derpy on this tree with the larger circles. Now, the original instructions say that we need to use a dowel as the trunk, but I don't have a fat dowel like that, so I'm going to use a toilet paper roll. I mean, that looks like a trunk, right? And I'm just going to hot glue that in. Now, here's both trees all done, hanging out at the base of our penny-proofed Christmas tree. I think that I actually like the one with the smaller circles better. Next, we're going to make another tree, but this one we're going to use ribbons. First, though, we're going to need another cone, so let's make one of those. Then we need some ribbon, and I just happen to have a bunch of random ribbon pieces. I think most of these came from like packaging or gifts, and obviously this white one came from the outside of a blanket. And I'm just going to go through and cut each ribbon into little 2-inch sections. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to need, so I just cut up the whole ribbon. Then, with my glue gun, I'm going to fold each of these in half and secure them with a little bit of hot glue. After all of that's done, I'm just going to glue all of the ribbons onto the cone in rows, starting with the widest ribbon, which is this green, and ending with the thinnest. I'm not overlapping them like I did the circles, but I am going to offset each row from the previous one. I did 2 rows of each color, so it looked really nice and thick. There is sort of one awkward area in the back where I started each row, but we won't see that. When I got to the top, the inspiration picture had a pine cone, but I don't really want to go find a pine cone in the snow, so instead, I'm going to make a little pom-pom with some spare yarn. I wanted green to even out the cone a little since there's so much red, but this is the only green yarn that I had. It's a little light, but we're gonna make do. I know that they make pom-pom makers that you can buy, but I don't have one. So I'm just going to use this piece of cardboard that came out of some packaging. I cut a little small string out of the yarn to tie it when we're done, laid that across the cardboard, and then I wrapped and wrapped and wrapped that yarn around the cardboard and over the string. I wrapped until I ran out of yarn, then pulled the cardboard out and tied the string really tight. Then I went through and cut all of the loops. I probably could have used a more dense pom-pom, but this was all the yarn that I had. Now, once all of it was snipped, I fluffed out the pieces so it was a little bit more round, and then trimmed it all up so it was more of a ball shape. Finally, I can hot glue it on the top of the cone. It's kind of looking a little like a party hat, so I'm going to trim up the pom-pom on top. Then I'll glue in a toilet paper roll trunk, and there we go. I actually really like this one. It came out so cute. Next, we're going to make some cute little candy ornaments out of felt. So first, obviously, we need some felt. And here I have some nice, fun candy colors. So the first candy that we're going to make is this ribbon candy. And we need some strips about a 1/2 inch wide in 2 different colors. I'm just cutting these at the same time, and honestly, I'm just eyeballing it. Then we need some thread or embroidery floss. Obviously, I have plenty of colors, so I'm going to match it to one of the colors of felt. We also need a needle and some beads. These are that pony bead size. Now first, I'm going to make a little loop to hang it on the tree and tie a knot. Then I'm going to thread a needle, and starting on one end, going through the middle of the felt, then I'm going to add a bead that matches the felt on that side. Then I'm going to go back down through the center of the felt so that it'll make a little curve when I pull the thread tight. I just kept going like that, alternating between purple and green beads, depending on what side of the felt I was on. Then when I got all the way to the end, I tied a tight knot and trimmed the thread. Easy peasy. I did make a second one that was pink and green with a little bit of a shallower curve, so you can decide which one you like better. Next, I'm going to make a swirly lollipop. And for this, we're again going to need strips in 2 colors, but this one I did about a 3/4 inch wide. Then we're going to roll those 2 strips together in a swirl, using hot glue as we go to secure them. And of course, burning myself in the process. At the very end, I'm going to trim off the end of the strip that's a little bit longer and secure it with hot glue. Now, the original instructions I saw for this call for a cake pop stick. I don't have one of those, but I do have a teeny tiny little dowel. It's way too long, so I'm going to cut it down first, protecting my silicone mat with a random piece of trash. Then I'm going to paint the whole thing white and glue it to the lollipop head. Last, I'm going to use some embroidery thread to sew a little loop on so that I can hang it from the tree. Again, I made 2 of these and they were so easy and quick. Finally, we're going to make some swirly wrapped candy with some twists on the end. Again, we're going to need strips in 2 colors, about 3/4 inch wide. Just like the lollipops, we're going to roll both of those together into a swirl, gluing as we go. Now, to make the ruffles on the end, we need smaller strips of those same 2 colors, but these are going to be about 2 inches long. We're going to take one of those colors and trim it a little bit so it's just a little bit shorter and a little bit narrower. And we can cut the ends so that they're a little bit wavy. Then we're going to take some embroidery floss and tie a loop around both pieces of felt, kind of close to the end. This is just going to sort of gather the felt like a fan. I double knotted that, and then I used a needle to put one little stitch all the way through just to really secure it. Then I knotted it again and trimmed off the thread. I did that all over again on the other end. Then I cut the 2 ruffles apart pretty close to where the gather is. That stitch should keep it secure. After that, I used hot glue to attach the ruffles to the sides of the candy. Apparently, I forgot to hit record when I did that, but you can see the glue in this footage of when I sewed on some loops of thread to hang them from the tree. I love all of these little candies so much. They're so cute and so easy to do. I want to make a million of them. Alright, the last little item I'm going to make is a clothespin snowflake. You can find instructions for these all over the internet, and a bunch of them actually have multiple sizes of clothespins, but I only have this size. We're also going to need paint and glue. Again, you could use regular glue, but I'm using hot glue. Now first, we need 8 clothespins for each snowflake. These are just plain ones that I bought in bulk for school. Then I'm going to take all of these apart and set aside the little metal springs. We don't need those. Then we can go ahead and paint these wooden pieces however we want. You could go a step further and actually sand them first, but I didn't want to. But because I'm extra, I painted these first in white, then a pretty metallic-y white over that, and then a final silver glitter coat. You can see that I did not paint what would normally be the outside of the clothespin. That's where we're going to glue them together. Now, once they're all painted and dried, you can see how pretty and sparkly they are. We're going to go ahead and glue them together back to back with the glue gun. Now you should have 8 pieces, and we're going to hot glue those together at the fatter sort of rounded ends to make a cross shape. I put the glue on the flat tip and the 2 sort of slanted sides and really smushed them together. Then, once it's all glued together in the shape of a cross, I put glue in the crease between 2 spokes and added another clothespin in that crease, again with the rounded side in. I just kept going until I had all 8 spokes. Once all of the glue had set, to be able to hang this on a tree, I cut out a little length of yarn, tied a knot, and then glued that knot onto the back of one of the spokes. This is so pretty! I made a light blue version too, and I love them both. So that's all that I had time to make this week. What did you think?
What?
Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.